Hi folks, today is the 3rd of March, so it's a very special day, the most special day, well it is for me, it's my birthday. So I got a pedal for my birthday from my other half, and she got me a Sonicake Volume, which is an absolutely tiny little volume wah pedal. It's Lilliputian. Anyway, to give you an idea of the size, I've got a Boss SD1, because you know the size of a Boss pedal. There it is. It's pretty much the size of a Boss pedal, and it doesn't quite weigh as much. Now, I'll try and go through this quickly because I want to get onto some sounds. And this is going to be 2 parts. But the first part is, like and subscribe, please. Thank you. The next thing I want to address is construction. It's a metal backplate, but the rest of it's moulded plastic. It seems quite tough, and it's got a decent clicky switch to engage it. So, you know, it's easy enough by hand, so, you know, that's not a problem. We'll see how this works. My concern for me is fairly big feet, not huge, size 45, so 10 and a half. That is a very small wah pedal. Now, part 1 will be run into this, the PV Windsor, which is essentially a hot rodded Marshall JCM 800 sound. Debate that what you like. There's a video on that amp. I'm really liking it now. It's probably going to be my main gigging amp if I don't have to use many different sounds, and especially if I don't have to use clean. So I'll use that for part 1 and let you hear this in the context of a Marshall style amp. I will also have it with a Boss SD1 after the wah pedal, so you get to hear a boosted Marshall. Kind of think Zakk Wylde kind of sound, late 80s, early 90s, hot rodded, screaming, high gain Marshall. That's the kind of idea. I will also run it into the PV Ultra Plus. So that will give you an American style amplifier and a more modern, tighter, high gain amp. Think kind of 5150, JSX, Triple X, it's in that vein. So see how that goes on, and into Celestine Vintage 30s. So that will give you a couple of different amps, and hopefully that'll cover something that you've maybe got, whether you go for a Marshall style or a American Mesa 5150 kind of idea. Hopefully I'll cover that. So I shall hook this up nice and simply and let you hear some sounds. Now, part 2 on my second video is going to be comparing this to my mainstay wah pedal, which has been my most popular video as well to date, which is the Behringer Hellbabe wah pedal. Completely different idea. This has got no adjustments, no settings. It's volume, then you click it and it's wah pedal. Nice and simple. And it's based allegedly on the Jim Dunlop Crybaby. So it should do the thing. The Hellbabe is very different. It's an optical circuit, doesn't have an on-off switch, and there's much more parameters to set. The only thing is it doesn't tend to have a great sweep on it. It's subtle, it's very good, and I do like it a lot. So that'll be a comparison video, and I'll just put that through the one amp and let you hear the 2 wah pedals one after the other, because they're both around the same price. You're looking at 41 euros for this from Amazon, and around 47 to 55 euros for the Behringer nowadays. So 2 wah pedals, similar price, completely different functions and completely different sizes, which I'll also discuss. And we'll see how we get on. Bear with me, and I will plug this in and let you hear some sounds. Hi folks, right, I'm going to try this again. I did do a little bit of filming of this on the floor, and all you seen was my great big dirty shoe. You couldn't see the pedal at all, so it was completely pointless. So I'm going to just set this on the floor and talk you through it. Right. First thing is, it's got some LEDs. And they are green on the volume mode and they're red on the wah-wah mode. Now, for you watching and for the audience, yep, they know exactly and you know exactly what I'm doing. Wah-wah mode, volume mode. But from my perspective, which is looking at it like so, volume mode, wah-wah mode. Can you tell the difference? Looking at it from the drummer's point of view, so looking as if you're looking at the back of your pedal board. Volume mode, wah-wah mode. Volume mode, wah-wah mode. Useless. Okay, so that it's not the be all and end all. You can sonically hear when it's on wah-wah mode. Anyway, what I would prefer, and if somebody in Sonicake is watching this or even cares what I say, I would have loved those LEDs to be on this plate, just on the back. So when you're standing at the back of a stage and you're coming up towards your pedal board, you would know if it's already on volume or wah-wah before you turned your guitar up. Not the end of the world, but often in a concert, things are loud, especially if it's a loud stage. You don't always hear what's going on. You don't hear the kind of the wah being on if the rest of the band are already playing. And you jump in thinking, I'm going to go into wah-wah straight away, and it's volume and you turn your guitar off. Not so great. So that's a minor gripe. But yeah, use your ears. But a little LED in the back face of that would have made all the difference. Anyway, I've got my guitar going into that, little power supply and patch cable, and I'll shove it into the Boss SD1, so I need a boost for when I'm wanting to go into silly territory. So that is in, and it was on wah-wah mode. Point proven. Okay, so first thing is I'm going to do something with the volume, let you hear the volume side of it, the volume swells. And for that, I will just very quickly plug in a delay, because it always sounds better with a delay. So neck pickup, which is a Seymour Duncan Jazz, and let's start with a D chord. Does that fine. Now, what I have noticed, volume right off, there's a tiny bleed through. If I boost it, you can hear a slight bit, but that's tiny, and we're dealing with quite a lot of gain. I've got the gain here set to 2 o'clock. And I've got a Boss SD1 hitting that as well, when you can hear it. So if you're on a clean sound, or you're running a medium gain, and these are quite hot pickups, barely, you hear something. But it's not enough to bother with. Possibly it's just needing moved a cog on the potentiometer, that's all. Anyway, so there we go. Volume works nicely. So yeah, if space on your board is a problem and you're not one to do volume swells on the guitar, like, can't see the volume, but that's a little bit smoother, but it's a small pedal, it's very high geared, so I'll forgive it for that. But if you're wanting a volume pedal and a wah-wah pedal, yeah, that will do both, and it takes up very little space on the board, so that's good. Anyway, there's the delay gone. I could have switched it off, but my leg's not long enough to reach the button. So, bridge pickup, which is the Seymour Duncan JB. There's my driven sound off the PV Windsor, very much a Marshall-esque tone. Yeah. I'll not do too many comparisons with the Behringer because I'll do a back-to-back with that, but that has got more sweep to my ears. That is very similar to a Jim Dunlop Crybaby, which is what it's meant to be. So yeah, that's good. The size of the pedal, yeah, I don't find that an issue at all. I would set it away from my pedal board a bit, just so you've got space to work, because if it's buried amongst pedals, not so clever. Although I would tend to say wah-wah pedal first in pedal line. So I'll put on a boost, just the Boss SD1. You'll hear the typical Boss SD1 noise increase. Yeah, that's works really well. Now, what I do like, and this does it, most wah-wah pedals do, the optical one in the Behringer does not. Again, without dwelling on things too much, I can quite happily do that wah on, boost off, cocked wah sound. What, a little bit more? Yeah, so you're kind of money for nothing, you kind of honky sound, Michael Schenker kind of sound as well. A bit more than that. That kind of idea. It does that well. It's got plenty sweep. You can Kirk Hammett all day on that. I would say that would be pretty reasonable. Need 24 frets. Yeah. Pretty good. €41. I would say that's pretty good. Right. I said I would let you hear it into the PV Ultra Plus. So that's your Marshall kind of sound. Now into something modern. And it's on green. I love the fact it does that. So you've got a clean sound. Right, let's go to some kind of middle single coil-ish. Put on a wee bit of reverb. Yeah. Quite spiky, but it's a wah pedal, so it does that great. Now we will go to crunch. So this is a kind of, let you hear it first, more modern high gain crunch. So it's not quite as squidgy and rounded as the PV Windsor. Almost has a kind of cocked wah sound in that alone. So if I just bump the body of that up a bit, that's a bit better. So you can hear how much tighter that is, and there's no boost on. So if I kick in the wah pedal, and a boost, boost off, onto red, highest gain possible. So it does the modern stuff okay too, kind of that bit tighter. Personally, if I'm playing lead, I prefer more of the boosted, hot-rodded Marshall sound. It's just got a little bit more in the way of overtones, but not so good for heavy percussive stuff. But that... It just seems to be a little bit more subtle. So there we go. Let's just unplug this and lift it back up. So €41 delivered from Amazon by Sonicake. Yeah, that is a damn good little wah pedal. I'm going to do a comparison. That'll be another day, because today is my birthday and I'm wanting to spend a bit of time eating stuff I shouldn't. But anyway, thank you very much, and I'll have part 2 of this very soon. All be done through the PV Windsor, using both this and the Behringer, and let you hear a back to back, because they're both around the same price. However, if space is your issue on your pedal board, that is a cracker. It's maybe plastic, but it seems robust. I'm best part of over 100 kilograms, so I can bend things. I think that's pretty roadworthy. And the Behringer's plastic, and it's stood up for years, so I can't fault that. It's light, it's cheap, it seems very, very well made, and I would say just something to shove in your gig bag even. It's great. I don't know how long it'll last, but for sound, sonically, that is fantastic. I think I prefer it to the Behringer. It's simple. There's no settings. It's just plug it in and go. So, yep, there you go. Please like and subscribe if this has been of interest to you. Thumbs down if you thought I rambled on too much, which I normally do. Thumbs up if you liked it. That always helps too. And let me know what you think, because do you have one? What would you do different? Do you think that LED thing's something justified and worth raising? And not a sponsored video. This was bought by my other half for my birthday, and I shared it with you. So thank you very much. Something's for you soon. Bye bye.